Hello, my dears, and welcome to my channel. As always, I am very happy and grateful that you've chose to spend your time with me, and supporting my channel is really easy. Just like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and click on the notification bell of when you'd like to be notified of when I drop a new video. And I hope that you're all doing well. But if not, I do hope things will get better for you soon. But if you want to forget about things for just a little while, join me in meeting the Tarot of Vampires. And this deck was created by Ian Daniels, published by Luell Publication, released September 8th, 2010, and at that time it retailed for $29.99. The box itself is 8 1/4 height, across is 5.60, and it is 2 inches wide. And I'm really happy because it has the title on the top, because I like to stack my decks on top of each other like that. But it does have it on the side in case you guys stack yours that way as well. It's got some artwork on the side as well. And it is a magnetic box. And on the back, embrace the night as you succumb to visions of blood-red roses and feel the impassioned rhythms of your feverishly pounding heart. The vampire legend is rooted in darkness and seduction, yet its eternal message is one of spiritual hunger to taste the divine. Featuring Ian Daniels' richly evocative Gothic-style artwork, this hauntingly romantic deck is a tool for spiritual awakening. With it, you can plumb the depths of your inner shadows and emerge in the radiant light of truth. Inspired by the Rider-Waite structure, I can't speak. I really can't. The deck shows the Fool, Priestess, and other traditional figures, while the suits bear unique names that call forth the mysterious and the macabre. Scepters, grails, knives, and skulls. The companion book provides detailed card instructions, creative exercises, original spreads, and instructions for creating your own vampire character. And then we've got some more artwork. Okay, when we open up, we are treated with this beautiful rose artwork. And it does come with this lovely guidebook. I was very, very surprised when I saw how much information is in this guidebook. It is a pretty thick guidebook. It's got a lot of information on it, and we'll go over it after we look at the cards. And the one thing I don't like about this particular kind of card holder is that it doesn't hold all the cards. As you can see, there's some that are already sliding. They may stay still with the book in it, but hopefully. And then we have the ribbon for the insert, and the insert you can take out. It's removable, and there's really nothing underneath it, so if something happens to it, it busts, or it seems a little bit more durable than most inserts that I have. It's a little on the thicker cardboard side than just the little paper ones that I usually come in contact with, so that's always a plus. Okay, so the cards themselves are a little bit smaller than the traditional size tarot. As you can see, this one is a traditional tarot card, a Rider-Waite, I should say, and as you can see, it's a little bit smaller, and it is 4.6 height, and across is 2.75. It is the same width, as it's just they're smaller. And the deck is about an inch. And reversals will not be revealed. And in my tarot videos, I always do a side-by-side comparison with a Rider-Waite deck. And the one that I'm currently using is the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and it is published by US Game Systems Incorporated. If you can't find it there, Amazon does have it, because Amazon has everything. All right, so just to start off, the vampire deck, they switched justice and strength because pre-Rider-Waite those two were aligned to certain astrology, and I cannot for the life of me remember the backstory behind it, but it doesn't affect the it doesn't really affect the card structure. I mean, when you're reading, it'll still be the same, especially with this deck, because there are no numbers that identify it. So even though it'll be different than the traditional Rider-Waite, it's okay. It's not going to screw up your readings or anything like that. But I just wanted to let you know that when you first get the deck, it will be in that order, and it is also in that order in the guidebook. So if you want to check out the backstory on that, just look into Tarot Golden Dawn, and it'll tell you the little story about how Rider-Waite, when he did his deck, he basically changed those two cards so astrologically they would be different than what the Golden Dawn had did. Okay, so moving right along, go ahead and compare the two. And like I said, there's no numbers, it's just a title. See if I can get those up a little bit better. I do like the illustrations. Okay, that is the minors. Okay, next up, so for the suits, like it said in the back of the box, they have been renamed. The wands have been renamed to scepters. And they did put numbers on the minors. There is a color pattern as well. As wands are associated with fiery passion, so okay. And the court cards have been changed, and the pages are renamed daughters. The knights have been renamed princes. Queens stay the same. And the kings have been renamed lords. Okay, so that is that suit. Then we move on to the chalice, or the grail, sorry, that represent the cups now. Although green, I wouldn't exactly chosen green for the suit. Okay. And next we move on to the knives for swords. And we have as the color palette yellow, or gold. Could be one of those. There are some gold tones to this suit. Okay, that was that suit. And last, we have the skulls for pentacles, and we have purple. Okay, and that is the deck. And cardstock is kind of on the thin side, but very flexy bendy. Okay, let's get into this guidebook. So we have it named Phantom. I can't even pronounce Phantasmagoria. Phantasmagoria. And I found two definitions for that. So the first one is a form of horror theater that used magic lanterns to project frightening images onto a screen, often in the dark, or a sequence of real or imaginary images like those seen in a dream. Okay. And we have the content page. And we have part 1. Nice quote from H.P. Lovecraft. And we go into a story, an introduction, and a background. And Fear and the Shadow. And you can pause that and read that at your leisure. I'm not really going to go too deep into the guidebook. I'm just going to kind of do little cliff notes, I guess you could call it. And then we go into the shadow. And the hunger. The blood rose, which is on the back of the card, and he says right here, the rose is a symbol that has a rich and ancient history, often with meanings that seem paradoxical. It is at once a symbol of purity and a symbol of lust, heavenly perfection and earthly passion, virginity, fertility, death, and life. So he goes into the background the blood rose. And the nature of matter and time. And just kind of goes into the background of tarot and the different connections for the court cards. And then we go into the deck itself. Kind of like where he got his inspiration for the deck and explains some things about it. And then we have alchemy about the cards. This is basically a history background on tarot. Then we go into the major arcana and the structure, and he gives you a chart of the card itself, the astrological part, and then the Hebrew names that go along with the certain card. Then we go into the minor arcana and goes into a little bit more deeper behind each suit and what they represent. And then we go into the major arcana, goes into the background about that. The suit cards, numerology, which is always good to learn when you're doing tarot as well. It gives a little bit more deeper meaning to the cards. And then we have the different astrological signs and the cards they're with, and if they're cardinal, fixed, or mutable, and then the other cards that represent that as well. Then we go into the court cards. It goes into background explaining those. And using Kabbalah and Tarot gives you a little bit of background on how you can use these and integrate them into your readings if you choose to. You can. And there's the Tree of Life. And then goes into explaining the different paths. explains the different paths as well. Alchemy and kindred spirits. And then we go into the awakening, card spreads and exercises. Shadow and light aspects. Do some shadow work if you choose to. Then we go into reading tips and guidelines, giving you some tips on a little more deeper things you can do. And then we have the spreads. We have a soothsayer, dark mirror, blood trail, book of shadows, the elemental cross, trespass, forbidden fruit, the prophecy, and that's a year, the labyrinth. Then we have exercises that you can do if you choose to. Then we have kith and kin, personal card portraits. And this is where you can make a vampire character. And goes on to, you will need your sun sign and also your moon and rising. And you can create your vampire name, your dynasty card, and your vampire clan. And goes into explaining the different clans and the bloodline card. Vampire court and other cards. You have your ancestry card and descendancy card as well. And this is where you will get the information. You have your birth date, your astrological aspect, the dynasty card, bloodline card, vampire court, vampire clan. So say you were born October 1st. Okay. Your dynasty card is Justice, bloodline card is the Two of Knives, vampire court, Queen of Knives, and you are the clan of the Knife. So you can do a little experimenting and making a vampire character if you really want to. And then we go into the cards themselves, and you get a lot of information on your reading. You have the major arcana section, you have the title, alchemy, kindred spirits, the essence, and the message. And then we get a lot of message for it, and analysis and symbolism, and a lot of analysis and symbolism. Then the shadow part, if you are working on shadow work, gives you meanings for that. And there you are. And it pretty much goes through the whole book like that. And with the minor arcana, you get the alchemy, the kindred spirits, the essence, the message, analysis and symbolism, shadow, and that's all you get for that. expanded guidebook. And yeah. And that's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle. And shuffling should be very easy with these cards since they are very flexi-bendy and glossy, very smooth. You can do the rifle shuffle, you can do the overhand shuffle, side shuffle, maybe. Depending on if you like it or not, you can do the side shuffle, or you can cut them. You could do a fan. These will work really good spreading fan because of the material, or you can just spread them along your table. Think about that way. Okay, so let's see what card wants to pop up and give it a message. Six of Knives, so that is the Six of Swords. Okay. Okay. Alchemy, Mercury in Aquarius, Beauty of Air, Equilibrium of Intellectual Consciousness, Kindred Spirits, Raphael, and Yezazel. I hope I said that right. Essence, the equilibrium of thought, focus, powers of analysis, understanding, science, and a search for truth. Discovery, movement, beyond restriction and travel, anticipation, objective knowledge, problem solving, centering on thoughts, brilliant ideas, or spiritual illumination, craft, self-esteem, nobility, beauty and freedom, optimism. The message. The Six of Knives is the most perfect manifestation of the mind in terms of the human spirit. It represents the equilibrium of centered and penetrating thought. The mind is balanced perfectly between the conscious and the unconscious, between the active and passive. This allows for focused powers of analysis that not only understand an issue or situation, but can actively influence it by thought alone. When the card appears in a reading, it signifies that an intellectual and objective approach will achieve the best result. Our clear perception and understanding of a problem means that we can get to the heart of the matter. We must use our skills of deduction, weighing evidence, gathering, and organizing facts in order to bring something to a harmonic conclusion. By combining all aspects, we reach the solution that is central to the issue. Ever seeming incompatible viewpoints can be reconciled. Unconventional thinking leads to solutions or expanded awareness, which illuminates the way ahead. The Six of Knives is also about movement and discovery, either physical travel, development of ideas, or an increase of the powers of the mind. Perhaps we are ready to move on from a stale situation. We have concluded inner or external issues and can now reach for new horizons. This card is also connected with communication. We are in a position to communicate our ideas and mediate between opposing forces. Look for hidden messages that will appear in your everyday life, symbols, occurrences, and coincidences, as these are messages from your higher consciousness. The Six of Knives can indicate that we are soon to receive illuminating insight or inspiration from above. The card often arrives when we are feeling optimistic and confident. If this is not the case, then it urges us to employ clarity of mind to achieve these feelings. The card can represent a brilliant idea, an all-encompassing vision, or movement towards discovery. Analysis and symbolism. The vampire is a deadly strategist, and his intuition is supernatural, allowing him to see into the realm of the invisible. A brilliant scientist, visionary, and master of illusion, he is coldly, confident, noble, and cunning. His magic black blade represents the equilibrium of focused thought and sharp analysis. The point of the knife penetrates the web of cosmic consciousness, revealing mysteries and initiating vibrations. His illuminated mind is in perfect frequency with the crown of tree of life, Gether, which is reflected in the human ego. He is liberated through his understanding of the secret laws of nature. His vision and thought is so pure and clear that it crystallizes into reality, energized by the Ace of Knives. The equilibrium of the Four of Knives have been achieved and become the womb in which a thought seed is germinated. The balance effect, a Tippereth, the position of the sixes, centers this radiant crystal and gives it invisible form. This becomes the design for eventual manifestation in the visible world. As the most balanced minor card of Aquarius, the Six of Nine is related to inspiration that has been poured from above, see the star, visions, divine insight, and wish fulfillment. The cards connect to Mercury, relating to its qualities of communication, analysis, and projecting the will, see the Magician. By continuously cutting away outdated ideas and ways of thinking, we are in constant movement towards perfect understanding and can unite all possibilities into a central point. New ideas can be incorporated without upsetting the equilibrium, as they can be absorbed through subtle adjustments of the whole. Also, by comparing a new idea or insight with an established whole, we can gain clear understanding of its unique quality and how it interacts with the complete vision. The crow is the messenger of secrets, who whispers the mysteries of the invisible, gained from the bloody rose and the Three of Knives. These secret messages can present themselves in everyday life as simple things, encounters, and seeming coincidences or occurrences in synchronicity between our internal and external worlds. The card can indicate that our conscious awareness is expanding into the shadows and of our unconscious or our fears. This illuminates what was previously hidden, allowing us to bring into the light of consciousness, understanding, dispelling our fears and of the unknown. Once we gain insight, it releases the blocked energy that was held back by our fear or negative belief. Shadow, mental confusion, inability to understand a situation, contradiction, unclear thoughts or problems, difficulty moving on, feeling held back, mistrust, or low self-esteem, overly analytical, skeptical, or prejudiced, a lack of self-belief, or being unable to focus on our mind, conceit, or bigotry. That is a lot. But there it is. Very in-depth meaning to the card. Okay, so that is all I have for this lovely deck. And let me know what you think about it. And since it has been out for a while, there might be others who own it. If you want to share how it's working for you, go ahead, drop it in the comments. If you have any pros or cons about it, please share, in case somebody is interested in the deck and they just want to see what other people think about it as well. But once again, thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I hope that you will join me with a future video. But until next time, take care and goodbye, my dears.